The United States of amnesia seduces you to embrace forgetting. It's the job of the artist to remember. I am here to remember and challenge the official lies of government and the cultural organizations that abet and support their lying history, to decide who shall remain in their history books and who shall be deemed expendable, invisible, subject to brutal cultural deportation. The United States of amnesia seduces you to embrace forgetting. Dehumanization is the psychological process of demonizing the enemy, making them seem less than human and hence not worthy of human treatment. This can be exacted by governments in their official propaganda to increase violence, human rights violations, war crimes, and genocide against the people who are dehumanized. The first people indigenous to this land, called the Native Americans, were branded as savages by English and other European colonizers. The French were involved, as were the Spanish, the Dutch, the Portuguese, all of them with the English in the slave trade. Let's remember. It's the job of the artist to remember. The civilized Europeans intentionally transformed the land into property and began to exact systemic genocide in the name of their Christian God. Immigrants without papers are dehumanized as illegal aliens in the so-called land of the free, supposedly a land built by immigrants. Since the Pilgrims arrived without papers, why were they not deported? With Columbus and his 3 ships, they, the Europeans, were the first legal aliens in the hemispheric Americas. Take that to the bank, baby. Darling, boo-hoo you, because it's the hemispheric Americas, and we are all Americans in the hemispheric Americas. So this is one of the premier pieces. This is one of the definitive pieces of this installation of mixed media drawings called Hard Living in the Big Easy, Immigrants and the Rebirth of New Orleans. And again, this is inspired by photographs documenting a public demonstration by the Congress of Day Laborers. And this is inspired by a photograph that I took that's directly up there, that I took back in 2010, 8 years ago. And obviously you could see the connection to that one, and then you could see the connection to this one here, right? That's a direct connection. And all to demonstrate and have a public vigil for José Nelson Reyes Zelaya, a 28 years young El Salvadorian reconstruction worker, found dead. José Nelson Reyes Zelaya being picked up by an OPD, handed over to Immigration Customs Enforcement agents, and within that 24-hour period, ICE declared that he committed suicide. And let's not forget that ICE in street slang means to kill. And they offered no more evidence, not even to his own family or to the El Salvadorian consulate. And that's when I captured the first public demonstration and vigil for José Nelson Reyes Zelaya that was spearheaded by the Congress of Day Laborers demanding justice. And that, to me, that was the empirical evidence that I needed to begin documenting the immigrant demonstrations by the Congress of Day Laborers, and it was very inspiring as much as it was very tragic. It was a dramatic example of the fact that people are dying in these ICE jails. This gentleman has sunglasses, and then there's the child bearing witness, and you'll see her in a number of images, right? Here she is now, and there she is in the photograph, right? And this is how the photographs also inspire all the work. And you see her here, and then you also see her over here, right? The child bearing witness, right? So this entire body of work is to honor, the cosmic race, la raza cósmica, like this piece right here. La raza cósmica, the cosmic race. The Latin American people who are here are descendants of Aztec, Mayas, Incas, Zapotecs. I'm part Quechua, born in Ecuador, South America, right? So we have native blood. And what is this brutality? It's another epoch of that same brutal colonization structure. Our people are being dehumanized and attacked. No human being is illegal. Ningún ser humano es ilegal. And this one says it with the cross, no human is illegal. And in Spanish, ningún humano es ilegal. Stop the raids, immigration reform now. And this piece. No papers, no fear. Inspired again, like most of these, by a protest photo that I captured of the Congress of Day Laborers. We are on the right side of history because no human being is illegal, and what's going on is detestable in the United States of Amnesia. And this is nothing new. This has been happening. The inhumanity of what's going on now, especially with the zero tolerance policy that the entire country rose up against, right? And this piece speaks to that one directly. Inspired a lot. This is the last one, right? One of the last ones right now. Right here. Speaking to that issue. And the signs, right? Abolish ICE. And here's a mother with her own child. And here's a child, right? With a sign. Stop child jails. The United States of Amnesia, 3/5 Compromise, 1787. Fugitive Slave Act, 1793. Indian Removal Act, 1830. Chinese Exclusion Act, 1882. Mexican Repatriation, 1929. Japanese Internment, 1942. Operation Wetback, 1954. Oklahoma's anti-immigrant law, HB 1804, 2007. Arizona's SB 1070, 2010. 50 years later, the Freedom Bus Rides of 1961 were being celebrated in 2011. Meanwhile, Juan Crow laws were flying in the southern breeze. Georgia's anti-immigrant law, HB 87, May 2011. Utah's anti-immigrant law, HB 497, May 2011. Alabama's anti-immigrant law, HB 56, June 2011. South Carolina's anti-immigrant law, SB 20, July 2011. Indiana's anti-immigrant law, SB 590, July 2011. And the most salacious and controversial morsel this past summer, something called Zero Tolerance Immigration Policy 2018. Scripted into law by Jefferson Davis Beauregard Session, a living monument to the Confederacy. The United States of Amnesia seduces you to embrace forgetting. This is nothing new. In an era gripped by such anti-immigrant hysteria, where the current government jails immigrant children in cages and their mothers are flown to detention centers hundreds of miles away, the Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities has published New Orleans and the World, Tricentennal anthology that has disappeared my immigrant people. We have become invisible in this tourist industry-driven whitewashing of history, and our current 13 years of contributions to the epic recovery have been wiped out. Latin Americans have all dealt with U.S.-supported dictatorships that have disappeared our people in Chile, Argentina, the Dominican Republic, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and the list goes on. Are the ghosts of the Atacapa, the Chitimacha, the Tunica tribes, and all other tribes, native people who were slaughtered, who this French colonizer began exacting genocide against, are they receiving invitations to this tricentennial and its celebrations? Are we continuously framing near genocide and extermination of native people as European discovery? We obviously are. The Louisiana Endowment for the Inhumanities has brutally deported our immigrant people from their version of history. I imagine that their publishers and their editors must be sitting quite smug in their offices after committing such a crime against an immigrant people who have contributed of their sweat, labor, and love to our rebirth. But what can you expect from Eurocentric gatekeepers? Invisibility. It is the job of the artist to remember and call out the official lies and the cultural organizations that will abet those lies and disappear people and decide who should be remembered and who should be forgotten. The Louisiana Endowment for the Inhumanities has brutally deported our immigrant people from their version of history.